Heyo, what's up, guys? Matt Modi, content producer on behalf of OddsJam.com. Today, I will be doing my weekly segment where I'll be giving out 4 picks, 1 lock, 1 dog, 1 game prop, and 1 player prop. Excuse me. As you can see from my numbers up here, I've gone 20-8 so far. I've profited over $1,200, and these are all on $100 bets. So for each one of these, I'll bet 100, and then in column D is my winnings. So last week, I kind of got screwed with the Dak injury. I really thought he was playing in the game prop. And then the lock, I'll admit, I'll take that one on the chin. I did not expect the Saints to even win outright, let alone, I thought the Bucs would cover. I did not expect the Saints to cover. And not only did they do that, but they won. So props to them. It was a good win for the Saints. Too bad they had to lose, what's his face? Jameis Winston out of it. But, good win on them. So for this week, if I want to look at the slate, the rule for the lock is the odds can't be worse than minus 200. So looking over everything, we see a lot of big spreads, a lot of big money line here, right? So Ravens, minus 250. Here's one, Bengals at minus 132. But as you can see, the OddsJam Perfect Line has the best odds. So that is not a positive expected value play. Minus 400 Cowboys, minus 255 Saints, minus 900 Bills. Raiders is positive expected value at minus 164. That's not a terrible play. And then you have the 49ers, and then the Chargers are, again, not positive expected value. So what I settled on, and I'm not super thrilled with the odds here, but I settled on the Patriots at minus 170. So as you can see here, the best odds you can get are DraftKings at minus 170. The OddsJam Perfect Line has this at minus 177. So that is the positive expected value there. And to me, these are two teams just going in total opposite directions. The Patriots had a legitimately good win last week against the Chargers, where they just kind of thumped them. The Chargers had been darlings. They've lost 2 straight, and the Patriots, I thought they looked good. Mac Jones has been playing well. He's been managing the game. He hasn't been throwing too many interceptions, and the Patriots defense is kind of coming along. Two big wins for the Patriots, and then the Panthers. I know they just won last week against the Falcons, but A, that's not that big of a win against the Falcons. And B, Sam Darnold's hurt. And granted, Sam Darnold's bad, and the Patriots always play well against Sam Darnold. But still, he's a starting quarterback. And despite the heroics of last week's backup quarterbacks, I don't expect that to continue this week. So this week, you're going to get P.J. Walker starting. Whether Christian McCaffrey is back or not doesn't change my mind. Yeah, either way. I do think that regardless of if he plays, I think that the Patriots are going to win. And the minus 170 isn't great. I thought about buying it down a little bit, but at the end of the day, this is a lock for a reason. These locks, I try to have the best win-loss record on the locks. So I'm going to settle on the Patriots at minus 170. And if you go back to the slate, looking at the underdogs, not a lot of underdogs that I liked. The Browns, but, they've been scuffling recently. I do really like the Bengals, and they, the whole Odell stuff, kind of a circus. Obviously, I'm not choosing the Panthers. Not positive money line or positive expected value with the Vikings. The Broncos, no chance at my plus 375. So what I ended up settling on, and this, I'll admit, is a little bold of me. I'm going to take the Houston Texans to beat the Dolphins. Plus 210 is a lot. So for this one, I'm doing something unique. And instead of putting 100 on it, I'm only going to put 75 because I wasn't confident in a dog and I didn't want to force a pick. So if it wins, I'm still going to profit over $100. And if it loses, I'm not quite losing as much. But so the main reason why I'm taking the Texans is because Tyrod Taylor's back. The first 2 weeks he played, or I guess game and a half, they won the first game against the Jaguars, which isn't saying much, but the Dolphins just lost to the Jaguars, so it's not like they're this powerhouse. And the second week Tyrod Taylor played, they were taking it to the Browns. That game was close. If you remember, the score at halftime, I believe, was tied. Let's just look at that game real quick. Texans, Browns, 2021. I believe that game, So at halftime it was tied, 14-14. And then Tyrod got hurt, and then the Browns kind of took it over from there. So not that I think the Browns would have lost if Tyrod played the whole game, but he's certainly better than Davis Mills. And the Texans showed some fight those first 2 weeks with Tyrod. So I'm not super happy with myself choosing the Texans to win, but the Dolphins are just imploding. I mean, if you look at their schedule, they won week 1. and they've lost every game since, and they've gotten blown out, and they've had some terrible, terrible losses. So like, they beat the Patriots, and then blown out by the Bills, lost in OT to the Raiders, blown out by the Colts. This game wasn't as close as 27-10 shows. Blown out by the Bucks, lost to the Jaguars, which is horrendous. Lost to the Falcons, which is horrendous, and then another double-digit loss to the Bills. So Dolphins team is just really imploding, and I think that there's a lot of, well, they've shown that they're not confident in Tua as their quarterback, right? They're going after Deshaun Watson with all the legal allegations, and he hasn't played a game this year. The fact that they were still trying to go after him with all that stuff pending shows you what they think of Tua. They've said that they're like Tua's their guy and that they're confident in him. I think we all know that that's BS. So I think that this, the Dolphins team is just one. They don't own their first round pick. They're not. I mean, there's just not a lot of things going right for this Dolphins, especially after how well last year went with when they had Fitzpatrick. So again, I'm not super happy with myself choosing the Texans, but I do think that this is a winnable game for them, and I'm just not confident in the Dolphins. So again, I'm only going to put 75 on it because I'm not super happy with that pick, but I do think it's a good one. And so that's my official dog is going to be the Texans at plus. You can get this plus 210 either if you want to go to the game. Where is that? Either Barstool or Bet Rivers at plus 210. And then as you can see, it's positive expected value because the OddsJam Perfect Line has it at plus 206. Little sneak preview or hint, I should say. If you're looking over the odds and you don't see OddsJam Perfect Line as the best odds for a team, that immediately tells you that there's a positive expected value play there. So when I'm scanning these games, I like to look at this page, and that'll tell me whether something's positive or not. So for the player prop, I always try and steal these from the positive EV page. What I ended up settling on, let me find it here. Maybe it's what I ended up settling on, I guess it's not here anymore, is this. Let me find it real quick. I got it from passing touchdowns. So what I settled on was the Matt Ryan under 1.5 passing touchdowns. So I think it was taken off, which is why you don't. I mean, this game's weird because they just announced Simeon is starting, so they might have taken it off of Pinnacle, which is why it's not up there. But when I got this, the OddsJam Perfect Line was over minus 200. So minus 140 on a player prop isn't great, but Matt Ryan lost his best receiver in Ridley for who knows how long. He didn't have him last week. And let's look at Matt Ryan's stats. He's not played well this year, and the Saints have a legitimately good defense. So he's gone. I guess he's gone over that 1.5. He didn't in week 1, then he did the next couple weeks, and then he didn't in week 2 against the Panthers. So, and as you saw in that game, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions is really bad, obviously. Another reason why I like it is the Saints are quickly showing that they might have the best defense in the NFL. That Saints defense is legit, and they always kind of take it to the Falcons. If you remember last year, the Saints went 2-0 on them with Taysom Hill starting. And Matt Ryan just really doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to. Kyle Pitts is good, obviously, but they don't have any receivers. Cordell Patterson has kind of cooled off as of late from his hot start, and this is just a fade on the Matt Ryan led offense for the Falcons, and in an opposite of a fade for the Saints defense. They just beat the Bucks last week. Brady had some. I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns, but he threw some interceptions and had some turnovers. And I think that against a world's worst offense in the Falcons, I think that the Saints are going to be able to take care of business. The Saints are quietly a 5-2 team, despite me personally being low on them to start the year. So official player prop will be Matt Ryan under 1.5 touchdowns. The best odds you can get that are either, as you can see on DraftKings here, at minus 140, or you can also get that on Caesars Sportsbook, also at minus 140. And then the game prop is so unfortunately what I really like to do for game props is look at team totals. The OddsJam Perfect Line hasn't made its way to the OddsJam website yet. They're still working that out. So I look at Pinnacle, that Charlotte Sportsbook out there to get my to get the plays. And the one I settled on, so the Pinnacle has a Chargers team total true line at 26.5. And if you look at OddsJam, you can get it over 25 at FanDuel at minus 110. I thought about doing that over 24.5 minus 120. I decided to just take the extra half point in the better odds at minus 110. So the Chargers, this is a little bit of a faith play on them and Justin Herbert. I know that they haven't looked good recently. They've lost 2 straight against the Ravens and against the Patriots. And the Eagles, on the other hand, just came off the thumping of the Lions, 44-6. I don't think, obviously, the Eagles aren't as good as that, and I don't think the Chargers are as bad as they've shown. And if you look at the Eagles' schedule, they've given up some huge point totals. I know last week they played well against the Lions, but Herbert isn't Goff. And so we're getting it at 25. And since those first 2 weeks, they've given over 25 points. So 41 to the Cowboys, 42 to the Chiefs. Panthers, that was 18, that was good, but Sam Darnold had a really, really bad game. And then Bucks and Raiders all scored over 25. And then obviously the Lions with Goff, you really can't take much out of that. The Eagles have gotten a ton of flack about how they play defense, how just easily they give up completions, how they play so far back. They don't disguise coverages at all. They don't really doing a lot on defense. And I'm not saying that, or I'm not confident in that what they did against the Lions is going to repeat itself. So I think that the Chargers, I thought about choosing them for my lock. I wasn't super confident enough, just based on recent history, but I am confident in them being able to put up points. Especially you're getting that whole 1.5 difference from what OddsJam has it as. So, I thought about getting it over 26.5 at plus 100 because that still would have been positive expected value. But the 0.03, and I just decided to take the safer play and get them at over 25 at minus 110. So that'll be my official game prop, and I have them all listed here. I just hid them. So I had them all listed here. So my Pats' money line is my lock at minus 170. Texans' money line is my underdog at plus 210. Matt Ryan under 1.5 passing touchdowns is my player prop at minus 140. And the Chargers team total over 25.5 at minus 110. So those are going to be my 4 picks. Looking at hopefully looking at another good week this week. Even going 2-2 last week, I still profited. Only $21, but hey, money's money. And I'm confident in these. So if you like if you like the picks, comment on the YouTube channel. Hit me up on Twitter at my handle that I have here on the screen. You can email me at matthew@oddsjam.com. I would love to hear your feedback, good, bad, anything you got. And make sure you like, review, subscribe, all that good stuff to the YouTube channel to keep us growing. And that's all I got for you. So happy betting, happy watching, and good luck.